G'day and welcome to the COLAC Herald Sports Smash. I'm Lachlan, Cowlishaw, and beside me is Ben Martin. How's it going?
It's going well.
Ben, fantastic stuff. We've got all the COLAC District sports news for you in the football and netball. It's starting to get a little bit into the season, and it's starting to get a bit into the football season. So let's do the football scores now.
No mucking around. We're going to kick it off with the Geelong Football League news now. For one very big reason, of course, the COLAC Tigers have recorded their first win of the season after 5 rounds. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Right behind you here. They defeated St Joseph's 12-17-89 to 10-11-71 after a pretty inaccurate start. They kept the Joeys in the match early, mostly due to Kane Learson, I heard, but he had a good game. He was best on ground. He kicked 4 goals, while Travis Woodmason also kicked 4 goals. Also among the best players for the Tigers were Caden Newton, Lockie Veal, Al Adams and the young fella Cody Spokes. Dale Carson was the best for the Joeys. Straight into the CDFL news now. Ladder leader Apollo Bay remains undefeated, I guess, if you don't count that loss in the first round. Obviously,
yeah, we don't count it. Yeah.
They defeated their second 2012 finalists, and as many weeks they defeated Forest. This time 18-9, 117 to 8, 14-62 at Apollo Bay Recreation Reserve. A 10 goals to 1 third term really set things up for the Hawks here. They're on fire at the moment. Marty White kicked 4 goals. Matt Densley kicked 3 for the Hawks, while Jezza Ellis, Marty White and the young fellow Josh Cooper were their best. For Forest, Ben Hood kicked 3 goals, while Sean Calcedo and the Burrell brothers, Matt and Al, were the Lions' best. The next game now, Alvy's Hayden Hickey has a goal in the final minutes to give his team a 5-point win against the Otway District's Demons. So the Demons remain winless. Unfortunately, a bit of heartbreak for those boys. Alvy won this match 16-10, 106 to 15-11 at 101 at Jellyband Recreation Reserve. For the Swans, Chris Hickey kicked 4 goals, while Daniel O'Shea, the young fella, Tyler Manane and Chris Hickey again were among their best. For the Demons, Adam Harris 5 goals, Daniel Gage, Travis Maloney and Jack Hawkett were the Demons' best in this one. The next game now, Simpson has held off a charging Illawarra Biak to win 10-18, 78, 15-9, 99 at Illawarra Recreation Reserve. The Bombers kicked 6-4 to 2 points in the last quarter to really bring a bit of respectability back to the score, I suppose, but just didn't manage to pip the Tigers in the end. For Simpson, Nick Harding kicked 5 goals, Johnny Jennings kicked 3, Joel Hayward, Corey Bolsh and Brenton De Jong were the Tigers' best. For Illawarra Biak, Benny Allen kicked 3 goals, while Troy Keating, Sam Barrow and Nigel Plant were the Bombers' best in this one. The next game now, Lorne has beaten Birregurra for the second time since last year's qualifying final. If you remember that game, it was quite a close match, decided by less than a goal. This was a bit of a different story. Lorne won this match 17-9, 111 to 3-5, 23. So Lorne really just separating themselves from the other contenders at the moment. For Lorne, Louis Homer kicked 4 goals, while Lee Homer was the Dolphins' best. Steve Oliver and Chris Tipping also among the best players. For Birregurra, Pat Nolan, Mick Davis and Luke Phillips were the goal kickers, while Campbell Floyd and Cam White. It's good to see a couple of young fellas for the Saints really stepping up this season. And Tom McCrickard were Birregurra's best. And in the final game for CDFL action of the weekend, last but certainly not least, COLAC Epuras have prevailed in the battle of the unbeaten teams. They beat Western Eagles 17-17, 119 to 4-6-30. So a really dominant win here. Really sends a message to the rest of the league that the Imps are going to be a big contender this year. Tom McKay, 4 goals. Daniel Scott, 3. Sean O'Neill, Tom McKay and Simon Scott were the Imps' best. For Western Eagles, they had a few single goal kickers: Jake Reid, Jake Thorne, Andrew Hodgson and Joel Risk, while the best players for the Eagles, Andrew Hodgson, Scott Harvey and Nathan McMurray. South Colac had to buy netball.
Netball, straight to netball. Love the segue, very good stuff. Let's go into the COLAC Tigers action. First of all, we've got the netball scores here for you right now. COLAC Tigers took on St Joseph's, as Ben said, in the netball, and they got another win. They got their second win of the season down at Central Reserve. The final score was 41-24. Emily Murfitt, young player, playing well. She scored 22 goals, while Georgia Berry had 19 goals for the Tigers as well. She's also in good form. Best players for COLAC were Talia Jeffries, Hope Carmody and Emma Hillman, while for St Joseph's, a familiar name, Alana Park, she shot 8 goals and was in their best players, playing for her new team against her old club. Into COLAC District netball news now. The first game we've got is Lorne versus Birregurra. It was a thriller. down at Old Stribling Reserve, 34 apiece at the end of the game. Now, Birregurra held a 4 or 5 goal lead at the end of the third quarter, but Lorne were able to peg that back and get the draw in the end. Carly Entergott had 29 goals. For Birregurra, Jess Whedon had 18, while Karen Hart had 16. The best for Lorne was Alice Van Duren, and the best for Birregurra was their coach, Simone Smith. Otway Districts versus Elvie was the next game. Bit of a historic win, we found out, for Otway. They might never have beaten Elvie.
No one can remember.
No one knows, but on Saturday they got the points, 34-28, in a pretty impressive display. Simone Hickman, 20 goals for the Demons. Jane Robertson, 14. For Elvie, Morgan Eldridge had 14 goals. Mercedes Hickeys had 10. And the best for the Demons was Hickman, while Cindy Throckmorton for Elvie, she was their best on-court player. Good win for the Demons there, and a good win for Apollo Bay as well against Forest. They won 50-18. Of course, the Lions, they're great to get a team on the court this year, but just struggling wins and losses wise. Laura Taylor had 33 goals for Apollo Bay. Kath Spears had 16. For Forest, Georgia Cowdrey had 15 goals. The best players for Apollo Bay, Laura Taylor, Marley Coots and Rachel Darling. And for Forest, Fiona Teague, Julie Anderson and Georgia Cowdrey again. Illawarra Biak took on Simpson in the next game, and the Bombers continued a good winning streak. They won 4 on the trot now. 53-28 was the final score at Illawarra Recreation Reserve. Taryn Tom, 29 goals. Taylor Leeson, 24 goals for the Bombers, while for Simpson, Jessie Hawkins had 19 goals. And the best players there, for Illawarra Biak, it was Alison McKay, and for Simpson, it was Megan Leishman. Colac Imperials, the reigning premiers, took on undefeated Western Eagles. Eagles had a draw, but now they have a loss because they lost to the Imps 49-71. So a 20-goal loss there, but a couple of lapses in the second and last quarter really cost them the game. Rebecca Scott continued her great form with 59 goals, while Candy Robbins had 12. Jenny Fish, 28 goals for the Eagles. She had a great day out. The best players were Candy Robbins, Elise Howard and Rebecca Scott for the Imps, while Jenny Fish, Emily Ryan and Sarah Anderson got the best on-court votes for the Western Eagles. Now that wraps up the football and netball scores and brings us to our favourite part of the show every week. It's the COLAC Herald Sportsman, Sportsperson, Sports Star of the Week. And this week we've changed it. It's the Sports Team of the Week, Ben. We've given it to the COLAC Tigers footy players.
Look, we were looking at some of the individual performances for the Tigers to help them get over the line this week, but we couldn't single out anyone. We've given it to the entire team. So well done to the COLAC Tigers on having their first win of the season. They've battled earlier this season. They've had some tough games against teams like Lara, Newtown and Chilwell, St Mary's, but they've broken through for their first win, and hopefully it's the first of many to come for Paul Lynch and his boys.
Outstanding work there by the Tigers, and the netballers had a good win as well. Let's not forget them. And that's it from Ben and I this week. We will catch you next week with all the sports news.
See ya.
See ya.